What if reality is some form of hologram or simulation? Not as a TikTok theory, as a question that physicists, philosophers, and mystics have been circling from completely different directions for centuries. David Bohm proposed the implicate order, a deeper, undivided level of reality from which the world we experience unfolds. Michael Talbot brought Bohm's ideas together with Carl Pilgrim's work and popularized the concept of a holographic universe where the apparently separate parts may contain or reflect information about the whole. Now, Max Planck, one of the founders of quantum theory, argued philosophically that consciousness was fundamental rather than something he believed could simply be reduced to matter. Tesla spent his life investigating electricity, oscillation, resonance, and invisible forces capable of producing very visible effects. But this conversation didn't start with modern physics. Thousands of years earlier, Hermetic philosophy gave us the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. The Emerald Tablet describes the above and below as corresponding in the workings of one thing. And do you know who actually studied and translated the Emerald Tablet? Isaac fucking Newton. Yes, that Newton. His surviving alchemical manuscripts contain his own English translation of it. So the neat modern separation we've created between the mystical search for the architecture of reality and the scientific search for the architecture of reality, historically, it wasn't always so neat. And now, centuries later, theoretical physics has given us an actual holographic principle, a mathematical idea arising from quantum gravity, suggesting that information describing a region of space can, in certain theories, be encoded on a lower dimensional boundary. Now, Elon Musk thinks the odds that this is base reality are 1 in billions, even using just 1 in billion. That's 99.9999999% in favor of some form of simulated reality. So apparently we're allowed to entertain that reality is code. We just disagree profoundly about what the fuck we should render with it. So let's follow that thought experiment all the way through. Because here is where Musk and I strangely meet. Reality appears to be almost a 100% chance of being fundamentally information. That means that what we experience is, in some meaningful sense, code being rendered. But where we fundamentally diverge is the future we want to render. Musk is pushing towards a future increasingly defined by AI, neural interfaces, robotics, and human-machine integration. Now, I don't want the transhumanist dystopian timeline. I want the organic human timeline. Technology integrated with nature, human sovereignty, regenerative communities, creativity, consciousness, children who aren't conditioned out of their imagination, technology serving humanity rather than humanity becoming an extension of technology. So here's my question. If reality is code, then why aren't we writing better fucking code? Because look at almost all of our collective imaginative energy. Look at where almost all of our collective imaginative energy is going. AI takeover, surveillance, war, scarcity, collapse, digital control, dystopia. We are being given fear narratives constantly and then collectively rehearsing them in our minds. Within the esoteric framework, you could call that archonic programming, fear, separation, control, and perhaps one of the most effective ways to constrain a creative species is to simply convince it that another reality isn't possible. Because humans are creators. Before a civilization can be built, somebody has to imagine it. Every building, every technology, every social structure, every invention, every revolution in human thought first existed as something that wasn't physically here yet. So let's use that capacity deliberately. What does New Earth look like? What does sovereign technology look like? What does architecture completely integrated with nature look like? What does education look like when we protect children's imagination instead of programming it out of them? What does abundance look like when we're no longer defining ourselves as materialistic consumers? Imagine it, draw it, write it, meditate on it, use AI as a tool to visualize it, talk about it, and then build it. And here's my favorite part. Maybe there is the 0.0000001% chance that I am wrong and that Elon Musk is also wrong. Maybe consciousness doesn't render a hologram. Maybe Bohm's implicate order doesn't mean what mystics think it means. Maybe the holographic principle has absolutely nothing to do with human consciousness. Fine. And what exactly have we lost? Worst case scenario, we reclaimed our imagination. We deprogrammed ourselves from relentless fear narratives. We became more creative. We connected with nature. We strengthened our communities. We stopped behaving like unconscious consumers. And we started consciously designing a civilization we'd actually want our fucking children to inherit. That's the downside. I'll take it. But if consciousness does participate in something deeper, if the universe is holographic in some way, if the Hermeticists were pointing towards something profound when they said as above, so below, then perhaps changing the pattern at enough individual nodes does change the collective field. So stop using all your creative energy imagining the dystopia. Render something else. New information, new pattern, new code, new earth. Let's shift the fucking field. Thank you very much.